given that there are like tons of coins out there, how do you go about finding your cryptocurrency that you want to invest in? I guess a lot of people are passionate, or they're very attracted to Bitcoin just because it's the most popular one, or Dogecoin just because it's, again, popular with everyone. But I guess if you are investing in Dogecoin or Bitcoin at this time, or whenever they were at the all-time high, you're already behind the curve. So how do you go about selecting your cryptocurrency then?
Well, as logical as it sounds, the first thing you need to do is select your cryptocurrency, or a list of cryptocurrencies. So obviously, there's I don't know, like 1,000 plus different types of cryptocurrencies. If you look at CoinGecko, there's like more than like 5,000. So it's absolutely massive. For me though, what I would say is that if you're starting, obviously, pick five, because it's going to get complicated. You're going to buy later on because you'll understand more the markets, as you'll start buying more, but only buy five. And these five need to be, I would say, in the top 10 to top 15 of the actual by market cap. I will even add in the top 20, because in the top 15, some of them are stablecoins, or remittance coins like XRP. So unless you wanna buy them for other purposes, I don't really see them as actual like cryptocurrencies. More like like stabilized stuff, or more like remittance coins, as I said. So you need to just look at them in general. Make a list, obviously, of the actual cryptocurrencies that are in top 15, top 20. Do your own research. These days, I don't know, if you're actually looking at it these days, the coins are very, very interesting right now. Obviously, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, Cardano, Dogecoin, Polkadot, Uniswap, Internet Computer. There's a lot of them. So actually look at the actual list, do your own research first, have a look at what they are. Because if you actually don't know what they are, it's going to be a bit difficult. You need to get into the nitty gritty out of it. Very simply the due diligence aspect of it. I would say that, as I say, like previously was the 5 to 10%, investing maybe $100 if you're in the US, 100 pounds, 100 euros is actually a good bet. And kind of see how many coins you actually want to buy. Personally, for what I've done is that I have most of my investment in Bitcoin, but that's obviously, because of the opportunities that I was able to get, and also my understanding of the cryptocurrency world, which I will expand a little bit later on, the rankings and the strategies that you can actually adopt. Because the reason why I also talk about the 5 ones, because there always going to be a lot of coins that are going to be newly initiated. And because of this, there's going to be a lot of hype. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to talk about it, and you're going to be drawn. And for me, if you're just starting, and the biggest example is Dogecoin, obviously, if you're just starting and you invest in Dogecoin, it might not be the best actually opportunity. And so I feel that you need to really understand, which coins are going to be the first, which coins are going to move the market, and which coin is going to be the higher impact, and most likely going to stay in the top 10, top 15 charts. If you ask me, like when I bought Bitcoin for the first time, if Dogecoin, a meme coin, was going to be in the top 10, I would have laughed at you. Fortunately, or fortunately, depending on your vision, it is. So you need to be very, you need to have a very open-minded kind of a vision, but you need to understand that some of them are going to be ranked, going to be structured, they're going to be have a hierarchy. And so for most likely, if invest, go into the hierarchy once, and then later on, when you'll get more to it, you'll get into the more nitty-gritty of it and be able to understand what it is. Obviously, as I said, Bitcoin number one, the dominant aspect of it, just because it was number one, just because it's in most people's portfolio. Bitcoin also only has a 21 billion actual, 21 million. Oh my God, 21 million is market cap. So obviously, it's very stable, and it's always going to have a high price. The other one is probably Ethereum. Ethereum, because of the tech behind it, because of most platforms, new cryptocurrency platforms or exchanges are actually made on the Ether blockchain. So we'll always be number two. For the other one, well, maybe not always, but we'll have be number two for a long time. But always assume that there's going to be a lot of volatility behind it. But yeah, just have a look at the different lists that you actually have. I know that in the actual PowerPoint right now, there are some different coins you can look at. So if you have no idea, do your own research. I'll go in a bit in depth later on, but I feel that like because I'm not a financial advisor, I can't go too much in depth in the, in the reason of them. So yeah.
No, for sure. I really like your point about investing $100 or 100 quid as your first investment, just because if it goes to bust, it's nothing you can like cry about. But if it goes to the moon, maybe you can capitalize on that gain. But
Exactly.
like for example, coming from a stocks background, just because I usually analyze stocks and I know where they actually trade, I was wondering where can you buy these cryptocurrencies? Like how do you access those exchanges and stuff like that?
So the interesting thing is that obviously, I know that recently people have been talking about like buying Bitcoin and PayPal or Robinhood also, but as a very old school, I would say, even though I haven't been for that long, like only around a year and a half investing in crypto, I would say the best bet is exchanges. Really, it's just exchanges. There's a list, obviously, if you can see the big ones: Binance, Coinfinex, Coinbase, Huobi, OKX. There's a lot of them that actually. There's also Crypto.com, for example. So there's a lot of them. If you're a bit confused while listening to this podcast, just pause it and actually do a search of all of these exchanges, and you'll be finding a good exchange. Now, the thing with exchanges is that there's actually two types of exchanges. The first type of exchange is a fiat to crypto, and the other one is crypto to crypto. So what is the fiat to crypto? So the fiat to crypto is basically an exchange where you can buy cryptocurrencies in exchange for fiat. So fiat is basically another term for sovereign currencies, such as the US dollar, the yen, the euro, the yuan, etc., etc. So one of the good examples is Coinbase, which you can see on the PowerPoint. So Coinbase is a perfect example. You can actually use US dollars to buy any type of cryptocurrencies, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, Uniswap, etc., Unicorn, and etc. So you can directly buy it. It's you're going to go through a lot of KYC, which is why. But I'll develop that a bit later. But it's probably the most easiest way. You just link it directly to your bank account, and boom, you can buy any type of currencies that is listed on the exchange. The second one is crypto to crypto, and the crypto to crypto are kind of a new concept, especially with the arrival of decentralized finance, which I know we'll be talking about it later on another episode, something that really I love. But basically, like a crypto exchange is where you exchange certain cryptos, like blockchain, Ethereum, etc., for other cryptocurrencies. So firstly, why will you do that? Well, some of the exchanges, especially DeFi, they actually don't accept fiat currencies. And so because they don't accept fiat currencies, you have to go through into buying another crypto before, as an intermediary, before you can actually buy those cryptos. And so back in days, I don't know about now, but back in days, you used to have Binance, for example. So Binance was a perfect example, where you have where you could buy crypto coins with other crypto. I know these days, sometimes that's what I've done recently is that when there was the dip for Bitcoin and there was a rise on, I think, Omisego, I basically used some of the gains from Omisego to basically exchange them into buying Bitcoin. So you can also do that as a crypto to crypto kind of exchange. So that's also a very good strategy if one of the coins that you actually bought is going full moon, and one of the other coins that you think has high potential isn't doing well, where you can actually just kind of make the profit and then just directly use the profit to buy it directly and actually do pretty well. But in general, except on the DeFi aspect, these exchanges are pretty centralized, so it can make them quite vulnerable. But the good thing is also that, for example, I know that Crypto.com, no more Binance, but I know Crypto.com, for example, actually has a fund. So if your crypto, because it has happened in the past, are hacked, you can actually have your crypto, like that fund has a collateral that actually will pay you back the actual money or the worth of your crypto that was hacked, for example. Most crypto exchanges should have that, but it's very interesting that at least you have that protection. For a lot of DeFi, for example, you don't actually have that, but because it's decentralized, it's even harder to actually hack. If you want, obviously that goes back to blockchain And if you want to learn more, go back to the first episode. So to very simply, if you want to open those an account, you just have to open an account of those exchanges, do a bit of KYC because they're gonna want to know who you are. Back in the days before I opened, you didn't have KYC, but with more and more regulations coming through, you're gonna have to go through a bit of KYC. It's not as in depth as opening a bank account, but still the classic credit card and kind of your like a passport or identity card, just have to go through that. And then you have to fund your account if it's a fiat to fiat first with $1 or euro to actually have enough money to buy any types of cryptocurrencies. And it will also obviously depend on the different types of jurisdiction. I know personally that there are certain countries that obviously don't have regulations, and also certain countries where cryptos exchanges are actually banned.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah, and I know, for example, I live in Hong Kong, but the territory behind me has banned its cryptocurrencies, and a lot of people, I do know certain people that actually use VPN to buy cryptocurrencies in Hong Kong. So they use VPN, get into Hong Kong and buy crypto and do different types of trading. I personally wouldn't actually recommend that just because, obviously if you're not getting caught, it's good, but just be careful with that aspect of it because certain countries will actually be pretty tough on this. But yeah, just be careful because it can get a bit difficult. But yeah, that's basically the first introduction for this. And then obviously with picking the right cryptocurrency exchange, you need to look at the rates and you need to look how reliable the actual exchange is. Because they will take the rates for different types of transactions from either the transaction of you buying cryptocurrencies or the exchanges of you putting back into the different offline and online wallets that you have, or also switching directly to doing quick profit between different types of cryptocurrencies. So that can actually play a role. That's why Binance, for example, is very, very popular. That was the first exchange I used because it had very low fees. And so that was obviously a big thing. Some of the exchanges have, they propose different types of services. The leverage obviously is something that can attract a lot of people, especially with when you have 100x leverage, for example. If you're like a kind of a retail trader, that can be interesting. Also very risky. But yeah, I think that those exchanges, we'll talk a bit more, I think, on decentralized exchanges, but for centralized exchanges, they can provide a lot of different services. For the rest, I think it's just kind of a very basic introduction I wanted to give you all. For the rest, there's different charts that you can find on the internet about different prices, etc. And also you can do your own research on this. But yeah, they're obviously easier because they're more aimed for retail investors and like traders. But yeah, there's something that can be very well done. I think half an hour you can set up your account. And then get to approve from your account from your bank, and then you're good to go basically.
Oh, for sure. I guess it's important to also acknowledge the regulations from your home country or the country you're currently in.